It's gonna be kind of late, but just heard about it yesterday, so I would like to make my thoughts on it. Toby Turner, or Tobuscus, on YouTube has been accused of rape, drugging and abusing a woman, April, that he used to work with. I think that even though it's in our nature to believe that the woman is always right when she accuses rape, there are instances, a lot of them, where the woman has been known just to cry wolf. And it's not true. And I'm believing that this time it is also not true. That he did not rape her, and he has not drugged her. Or, yeah, he has not raped her and he has not drugged her. From what I've gathered, I watched a video on YouTube yesterday of a girl who's dated him before. And I'm choosing to believe her, which is that he can be abrasive when it comes to the things he wants. Meaning like the sex that he wants or something like that. And if you're not, and some women aren't into that, so that they, but they won't say anything about it. And I think that you have to say something about it if you're not into that kind of stuff, you know? So, maybe that's where she's getting the idea that he's mean, or, you know, that he's too aggressive, that she has holes in her pants or something like that, you know, and which can possibly be true, you know. Abrasive and aggressive people can do stuff like that, but you just have to tell them no. And I don't believe, from what I've gathered of the other video I watched, I don't think that he raped her, because from what the other girl that dated him said is when you tell him no, he immediately gets turned off, because he wants to be, you know, the center of attention, and if you're not making him the priority, then that doesn't turn him on, you know. So I don't believe that he would ever rape her. I do, though, believe that he, because of what the other girl told me on the video, that he did cheat on her, and he was verbally abusive sometimes, because that's what the other girl said. I'm choosing to believe her, that he can be verbally abusive, but anyone can, you know, anyone can call, when you're in any type of relationship, you can get called names and things like that. So I think that that's not like something to be alarmed about at all. Well, it depends on what you're being called and how often you're being called it, because that can obviously be an alarm. But I think that I don't think that I don't think that he was mean to her, you know, out of just because he wanted to be mean. I think that they were probably in a fight of some sort, and, you know, when you're in a relationship and you fight, sometimes you can get called a name, and you don't like it, it's mean, and you get hurt. But then, you know, you make up, you get over it. The cheating, though, the other girl has expressed that she was cheated on, and he would text other girls. He has a huge problem with being monogamous, which can be a letdown, especially for Tobuscus fans, or especially, I mean, I was let down by hearing that, because he was such an idol to me for so long, that hearing those kinds of things, you know, it just kind of lets you down. You know, you expect these people to be good all around, but that's never really, I mean, that can never really be the reality, is that they can never be perfect, you know, because no one's perfect, and it's just something that he obviously has to work on if he wants to get married one day, or maybe he can meet someone who's into open relationships. I personally don't think open relationships ever work, but I just think that the story from April's point of view has been spun in her favor. I don't think, like I said, I don't think he raped her. And from what I gathered, the girl on the video that was talking about, that has dated him as well, said that from what she's heard from other people, that April is the one who introduced Toby to Molly. So the thing about how he drugged her more than what she could handle, I believe to be untrue. I believe to be untrue. Like, I don't believe that at all. But I do believe, because, like I said, people aren't perfect, and even though because on YouTube videos you only get one side of someone. You get the side that they want you to see. You don't get the entire story, obviously, because they're only on the camera for 10 minutes at a time, and they have the rest of the day to be themselves. So there are instances where I'm sure that Toby has done drugs, because he lives in LA, and people are bound to come across it, and some people can get talked into that, that sort of thing, where they're like, hey, you should take this, and you could be drunk, and you could be like, oh yeah, totally, and you take it, and then you like the feeling, so you take it again and again. It's the same thing with ecstasy or acid or anything like that. So I think that anyone, especially Toby living in LA, and doing the things he does, he's going to get pressured into doing those things, and some people can get pressured into doing those sorts of things, so the thing about him having someone who was aborting his baby, I don't believe that's true either. I read like a post that his mom posted about something that he's been trying for a baby, which makes sense. He's 31 years old, so it's going to be kind of obvious that he's probably trying for a baby. But my thoughts on that are, if you want to try for a baby, you have to be monogamous. There's no if. I mean, that's not true. You could get a surrogate or, anything like that. But I think that if you don't want any problems, because a lot of the time if you get a surrogate mother, the surrogate mother then decides partway through the pregnancy that she wants the baby. She doesn't want the dad to be a part of it anymore. And there are women that are like that, that are mean like that. So I think that in Toby's case, if he wants a child, he has to be monogamous. And from, what I've heard and what I've said, he has a problem with being monogamous. He has a problem with cheating on whoever he's dating. And that can be tough for a lot of women. Women and men alike don't like to be cheated on, obviously, because when you're in a relationship, there's an understanding that you're going to be with that person and that person only. So, unless said otherwise. So I think that that Toby definitely needs to work on that. And I think that he needs to work on his drug and alcohol problem, obviously. But I think that I think that until we have all the facts, which I think we do, and I've made my choice, and I'm going to stand on Toby's side. I believe that he did not rape her, he has not drugged her. I do believe that he could be not physically abusive. I think that he was verbally abusive. Maybe emotionally, because, when you get yelled at or when you get called a name, you can, that can damage you emotionally. But I don't think that he ever raped her. I don't think that he has drugged her at any point. So I think that we need to stand with Toby. I think that, I'm not going to say that she's only doing it because she's wanting attention. Maybe in her mind, this stuff did actually happen. Maybe it sounds kind of awful, but maybe she was so drugged to a point that she imagined all this. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I think that we do definitely need to stand with Toby in his time of... I know that this is late. I know he got accused of it a month ago. But I just heard about it, like I said, and I know that I'm going to be standing on Toby's side. And I think that a lot of women aren't. I think a lot of women are going to say that she was raped, because it's in women's nature to believe other women when they cry rape. So I think that I think that we need to stand with Toby. I think that he is telling the complete truth, that he did not rape her. He never did anything without her consent. So we need to stand with him.